Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about a new scene that we actually got, or actually it's not technically a new scene, but it's a new look at Rick Grimes in The Ones Who Live, and there's actually a lot of this. Full credit goes to Andy Young Makeup on Instagram. I'll leave a link down below to her Instagram. Go and check her out. Like, she posts a lot of really amazing behind the scenes stuff. She was the makeup artist on The Ones Who Live, and she does a lot of stuff in general with TV and movies and stuff. So definitely go and check her out. Go give her a follow. Again, I'll leave a link down below in the description of this video to her actual Instagram, but she posted something the other day regarding I guess The Ones Who Live, and we actually have a new look here at Rick Grimes in the season, and I want to talk about that because there's a lot of shots, there's a lot of footage from The Ones Who Live that we have not seen yet, and it really makes me wonder if when the Blu-ray comes out in like 2 months from now, if we're going to see a lot of footage from there, a lot of deleted scenes, because it seems like there's quite a bit, right? So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. I have a video coming out tomorrow. It was actually supposed to come out today, but that's going to be giving my predictions on the Comic-Con trailer and whatnot. I'll also be talking about episode 13 of season 5 of The Walking Dead, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, she posted this photo here. There's a lot of photos here, and there's no specific like context to what this photo actually is, like from what episode or what was happening and whatnot. But we do see this first shot here of Rick Grimes, and obviously this is like a behind the scenes shot, right? And we see Andrew Lincoln. Well, I guess no, I mean it's technically Andrew Lincoln, but we see Rick Grimes, I guess, just laying down here. And I don't know what episode this is from. It's not from the first episode. It could be from episode 2. I'm trying to think specifically like where this would have happened. Episode 3, at that point there, he was already kind of moving around, and maybe it was in a scene where he wakes up and he's thinking of whatever. But to me, if anything, this might be from episode 1, just maybe later on in episode 1, right? Because I know that there was some scenes where, because episode 1 focused a lot on, you know, his journey throughout the last 10 years at the CRM. We saw some moments where Rick was trying to escape and he was planning his escape. So I feel like this shot could be connected to that. You know, this might be after one of the dreams that maybe he had about Michonne, right? Like he just wakes up after this or something like that. I'm sure there's so much footage, especially from episode 1, because that one was really like, it's kind of crazy. When you look at The Ones Who Live and those 6 episodes, I feel like you could take episode 1 and make a whole movie just on that. Because that's what I originally thought the first movie was going to be, and then the second movie would be like the second episode and whatever. Like, you would have to tell a different story. I feel like the second movie would have to be what the rest of the episode's focused on, right? Which is just Rick and Michonne together. Maybe Rick escapes this and that, and then it ends on a cliffhanger in some way. The CRM doesn't actually get defeated, and then season 3 would be, or not season 3, but the third movie would focus on a final conclusion. That's how I kind of wanted all of it to play out. Looking back at it now, I don't know if I would have preferred the movie trilogy, because a movie trilogy, you know, we would have had more time with the story. But I think what they wanted was, like, I really don't think Andrew Lincoln wanted the CRM to be such a big part of his final story here. Like obviously Rick got taken away, so you had to tell some sort of story there. But I've just been under the impression, and again, it could just be me, but it's just felt like Andrew Lincoln, Denai Guerrera, they didn't really like the CRM story too much, or at least like not like it, but like I feel like they didn't want it to be such a big part of their story going forward. And if they were to do a new series, you know, they want to do something different and not have it such a big story like that. Because Gimple's been talking about, you know, telling just like classic Walking Dead stories. Andrew Lincoln recently mentioned, you know, for Rick Grimes' future and all that, going back to simplistic survival horror and all that. So I just kind of feel like that's why it ended in the way that it did. It's because they just, you know, they didn't really like the CRM story too much, and obviously they wanted to deliver there. And I think this first episode for sure delivered. It was a really phenomenal episode, and honestly, like I think that it makes sense that there probably would be a lot of unused footage from this episode specifically. Like, there has to be a lot, right? We had this other shot right here of Rick Grimes, and at this point here, this might be related to the same shot, but it looks like he has a CRM jacket on, or like the CRM outfit's a little weird because it looks like he has the jacket on, the CRM jacket, but it's also a part of the uniform, unless it's just like it's 2 different jackets. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it looks like he's not wearing the soldier uniform here. He's wearing just like the normal jacket or whatever. And I remember remember in episode 1, he did have the jacket on, and obviously he had that really amazing scene with Okafor. So this might be related to that, but this is probably before that, just because he doesn't look as stressed out. And I know after the Okafor scene happened, I mean, they got into a fight there and everything, right? And so he doesn't look like he just got into a fight here. So this must be before that. And I will say, that was a really cool look for Rick Grimes that I think is really like overlooked, I guess, because obviously everyone talks about like Murder Jacket Rick, like that was the best look for Rick Grimes, right? Like with the brown leather jacket and whatnot. But this look, like with the sort of, it almost looks like a black leather jacket, right? But with this look right here, this is actually really cool. Like I really am a big fan of the way Rick Grimes looks here. Like I feel like you can actually make this like an action figure and people are gonna, people would get that. And I think that's one of the things that I really wish that we got a lot more of was Rick, I guess, without the CRM soldier uniform. Because seeing that was cool, but like this look right here, to me is really amazing. I think we should have saw a lot more of this. And I think fans really wanted a lot more of what we got in episode 1. Episode 1 was so good. Like it really was an episode that probably could have been about 2 hours long. And looking back at The Ones Who Live, like yes, there's the pacing and all of that, but every episode should have been over an hour long. It's kind of surprising to me that every episode was, honestly, I feel like shorter in length than like any Dead City episode or even like The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? I think every episode was like 40 to 50 minutes. I know the first 2 episodes were pretty big episodes, but after that, there wasn't a lot in like every episode, which is surprising to me. It actually is, because if this is a limited series, then, and as of right now, it is. I mean, it is a limited series. They can renew it for season 2. It looks like they want to do a new story, but I feel like that's probably what it's going to be, is they're just going to do a new series. This was just The Ones Who Live, and the next story with Rick and Michonne will just have a new title, right? So I'm really surprised, honestly, that the first season had such short episodes. Like, it's kind of insane to me to think that they would do that. Like, obviously, people want more, and you should have known that people are going to want more because everyone was wanting a season 2. Like, I'm sure you heard all the talk on that, right? But you made the episode so short. I don't really understand that. But anyways, we have another shot right here of Rick Grimes, and now he's looking up at somebody here. So I mean, I feel like I don't really know the context here, but it looks like he's talking with somebody. This could be the scene with Pearl Thorne where, they're just in Rick's room and they just heard some news on the broadcast and all that about what happened to Omaha and all of that, right? If you're looking at the very bottom right, it says 20 minutes, right? So I don't know if that's 20 minutes remaining of the episode, but the shot beforehand says 16 minutes. And so I'm guessing this shot happens after this shot right here. And yeah, this makes sense to have happened from episode 1. I think that episode 1, again, I feel like this episode is going to have a lot of footage from the episode that we just haven't seen because it was such a big episode. Though a lot of the stuff that I've seen Andy Young actually share on her Instagram, there was some stuff from the finale as well. Some really cool shots in the helicopter that I'm so surprised that we didn't get. But yeah, definitely go check out our Instagram for that. There's actually quite a bit there. But yeah, that was really cool to see. Definitely post all your thoughts down below on these shots here. Like anytime there's new like image stills or footage, deleted scenes, anything like that with The Ones Who Live, obviously I will do some videos breaking down all of that. There is going to be a lot more. Like I imagine as soon as the Blu-ray releases in early September, there's going to be some stuff from that. There's deleted scenes usually with every season, and I just think with this one show, there has to be a lot because we're seeing so much footage from that I'm just like, well, like this has to be from other scenes and all of that. I just wonder if a lot of it is more like extended scenes though. Like there were scenes where, it's an extra 20-30 seconds or something on like another scene. And so they cut it because it was just, it was too long of a scene. Like that's the thing too with all television shows. There's hours and hours and hours of footage that we just don't see, right? Like they just cut all of it. What we see in the show is just sort of, an edited version of all of that there. And even with The Walking Dead, I'm sure there's so many moments from every single episode that we haven't seen, like hours and hours of footage, right? That we'll probably never ever see. And we're just going to see, like some of the deleted scenes, some of the stuff that they feel, is worth watching. I just hope that for The Ones Who Live, that they actually give us a lot more because I think that people want more from that in general. And I just think getting like, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 deleted scenes would be really cool. Just like, even if they're 2-3 minutes long, then there's a reason to buy the Blu-ray. There definitely is a reason to buy the Blu-ray. But I mean, besides collecting it, like if you want to collect all of it, then yeah, there's that. Like I actually prefer like the steel books. Like whenever they do something special with it, that's when I want it. If it's just like a regular Blu-ray, then I won't collect it at all. But I've been seeing a lot of talk online of you know, Blu-rays and stuff like that in general not being made and all that anymore. And to me, that's sad because physical media is something that I really do like, and the world is changing a lot, so that's obviously going to change over time. People aren't going to be so, you know, just wanting to collect all of that. The newer generations, and not even necessarily the newer generations, but just streaming stuff and having things like easily accessible just through a streaming app. Obviously, like, people prefer to watch things easier, and like even I feel that, like, I prefer to collect physical media, so I'll buy Blu-rays with the 4K Blu-rays and all of that. But there is a part to me that, like, when I have to like go and watch a movie, like, I have to take the movie out and put the other movie in, which I know seems, if you're just feeling down on some day, or you're just like, you know, you're ready for bed and all that, and you're like, oh, I didn't put the movie in. It's so amazing just to have like Netflix there, or just whatever streaming service there, right, to be able to watch whatever. So, but I still collect physical media because I just, I don't know, that's just sort of the way that I've always been, I guess. Like, I've always collected, like, I used to collect CDs when I was a lot younger, and the last 10 years I've started to collect vinyl just because I was actually able to. I think like 10-15 years ago it was pretty hard to find like any vinyl anywhere, and now you can go to Walmart or like any stores now and you can actually find vinyl there, which is kind of insane. You don't really see CDs too much anymore, but I do prefer to actually buy the records. But anyways, I'm rambling here. This is a whole conversation for another time. So yeah, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.